Hello. I'm Brain Games. Welcome back to another episode. In this episode, we're going to be doing some logic-based problems. Let's get started. In Middle-earth, elves always tell the truth and orcs always lie. Which of them could make the following statement? I always tell the truth. So we have elves. So let's write down what we know first of all. We have elves that are always truthful, and we have orcs that always lie. They're always false. So can an elf say, I always tell the truth? Well, yes. An elf can say, I always tell the truth because this is a truth and they always tell the truth. Could an orc say, I always tell the truth? Well, if an orc says, I always tell the truth, well, then this would be a lie. But orcs always lie, so an orc could also say, I always tell the truth. So here we have both could say, I always tell the truth. Awesome. What do we have here? In the outdoors, there are beings, things, and wings. If some beings are things, and some things are wings, must there be a being that is a wing? Okay, so problems like this can be pretty tricky, and even if you start writing down beings, okay, we have beings and we have things. Oops, I wanted to change colors. We have beings, we have things, and we have wings. And some beings are things, and some things are wings. Must there be a being that is a wing? I always found the best way to go about solving problems like this is to make Venn diagrams. So here we have our wings, and let me go back to the same color we used. Okay, for things, some things are wings, so they overlap for sure. So here we see that some things are wings, and some beings are things. Some beings are things. But from our Venn diagram, we see some beings are things, and some things are wings. Are some beings wings? Well, not necessarily. We see that we can draw a Venn diagram such that our being circle does not overlap our wing circle. Therefore, no, there might not be. There could be. We could have drawn our being circle larger and had it overlapped, but we didn't necessarily have to. So our answer is no, there might not be any being that is a wing. Awesome. I really think this Venn diagram strategy is very sound. It's proved to be very helpful for me in solving many problems like this. I do recommend it. Alright, a wrestling coach was weighing in his team. When comparing amongst themselves, the players find that... Okay, let's get out our pencil tool. Marlowe is heavier than Nelson. Nelson is heavier than Peter. Here, let me write it down here. Marlowe is heavier than Nelson. Nelson's heavier than Peter. Drew is heavier than Peter. So Drew is anything over here. Which of them is heaviest? Well, because we don't know exactly where Drew is, we don't really know. Our answer is either going to be Marlowe or Drew. But Drew could be the heaviest spot, or Marlowe could be. We're not really given enough information. So I'm going to go with not enough information. Awesome. Yeah, so this can be tricky sometimes. Recognize that it just says that Drew is heavier than Peter. Well, that would be a true statement if Drew was placed here, or if Drew was placed here. We don't know Drew's exact placement. Drew could be the heaviest, and so that's why not enough information was given. Alright, let's continue forward. In Wonderland, the Cherche cat always lies, while the White Rabbit always tells the truth. Which of them could make the following statement? I always lie. Alright, so this is the exact opposite of our first problem with elves and orcs. And in elves and orcs, we learned that either an elf or an orc could say the statement, I always tell the truth. And this is the exact opposite statement. So how will this affect? We have our Cherche cat, who always lies, and we have our White Rabbit, who always tells the truth. Can the White Rabbit say, I always lie? Well, if the White Rabbit says this, and he's truthful, well, this is a lie. Because he doesn't always lie, he always tells the truth. So the White Rabbit cannot say this. The Cherche cat, if the Cherche cat says, I always lie, well, this is a true statement because he does always lie. And so he can't say this because this would be true. Therefore, he wouldn't always be lying. So the Cherche cat can't say this either. And so neither the Cherche cat nor the White Rabbit can say, I always lie. Awesome. Last problem. I have a tove. If all toves were goves and all toves were boves, does it mean that some goves are boves? So again, let's pull out our handy dandy Venn diagram. So here we have toves. So here's our toves. If all toves are goves, so we'll have goves in this color. If all toves are goves, then the tove circle is all the way inside the gove circle. And then, what does it say? And all toves were boves. Okay. Let's make a boves circle. Does it mean that some goves are boves? Well, absolutely. Some goves are boves, and we can see that because there's definitely overlapping of goves and boves. So, yes. Awesome. Excellent work. So, I hope this video was useful for you. This was Logic Warm-Ups on Brilliant.org. I hope this Venn diagram strategy will prove useful to you as it has proved useful to myself. If you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, take care, everybody.